All right, so folks, Jeff Clark here, Regional Director, GoldenCare USA. I want to thank you for coming on board this morning. Got a big class. We're excited to introduce a new tool and a new presenter, Josh Malang. I've worked with Josh. GoldenCare has worked with Josh for close to 15 years now, I bet, maybe a little more. He's been an outstanding agent for us. He's built an enormous agency with GoldenCare over the past. He's been a big producer. Years ago, he decided to kind of go out of the agency business and do more into the building, an agency type thing. And so he's always been someone who's studied, mastered in efficiency. So all you folks out there have been trying to grow your business, maybe just don't have the support staff, the tools, the resources to maybe get to that next level. That's what today's topic's about. So for those of you who maybe are just been in the business for a while, would like to take that next step, like to get to that next level, Josh has got a variety of tools here to help you duplicate or be more efficient with your business. Whether it's going to be the service thing, where he's got a host of people that can help you service existing clients, freeing you up for more selling. He's got tools to help you with branding, marketing, website help, things to help drive business to you, get new customers, service the customers better. So servicing, branding, and eventually technology. All the tools that we all see out there, there are a lot of agent databases, a lot of CRMs. Josh has got the most comprehensive CRM that I've ever seen in the industry, combining just tons of numbers to help you excel and attack and look for opportunities out there in your current block of business. So Josh, without stealing too much of your thunder, I'll turn it over to you. Josh, again, has been with us for a long, long time, and I really appreciate you, Josh, for coming on to share your tool with us. So without that, I'm going to turn it over to Josh Malang, and take it away, Josh.
Dude, I think you might have taken all my thunder. I got no thunder left.
Yeah.
So, dude, thank you, man. And I appreciate you guys letting me, kind of hop on this platform, be a part of the organization in terms of really our little co-branded situation here, and really allowing us the platform to sort of educate people at GoldenCare and in your guys' downline producers and agencies about the work that we do and how we can add value to them, and ultimately, help you guys grow as well. So it's been awesome. Like you said, we've worked together for forever in numerous different capacities, from being in production to being an agency builder to selling pieces of the agency off, and now kind of working with you guys on the enterprise level and kind of a B2B capacity. So it's always been a great relationship, and we've always thought highly of GoldenCare and the work that we've done together. So it's been pretty cool. So it's really fun to be able to jump on this type of opportunity with you guys as well. So thank you again. Just a little background, and Jeff covered on a lot of this, but I started in the business when I was 22. I got started a captive company, and captive company out of Chicago, and they're really a med sup and long-term care company. And I did a lot of work with them as a producer. Ended up becoming I think it was number 12 out of 4,200 agents in the company in my first calendar year, which is my second year in the business, as a young buck. And I got into a leadership position with them. Was looking for a new challenge. Apparently I had too much money and too much independence, because I decided to get right into leadership. That changed pretty quickly, but built a nice team with them of a couple dozen agents in about a year and a half. That went well. So I've got some experience, kind of in that direct frontline manager space there. Excuse me. I started a branch office for John Hancock shortly after that for about 6 months. And then I started Malang Financial Group, which was my original retail agency, in June of 2008. And I started that with 3 really, really key relationships. So number one, I knew that I needed a primary life carrier to sort of help me drive the recruiting and training and development of new people into the business. And there's a list of about a dozen carriers that I looked at that were members of Gamma International, which I always kind of had subscribed to. I narrowed it down pretty quickly to 3 and ended up really falling in love with a company out of Kansas City called Kansas City Life to be my primary life and annuity carrier. And they actually, I went to my first conference with them, I think before I was even fully affiliated with them. And they had this relationship with GoldenCare USA. And they said, look, if you want to do anything in the long-term care space or Medicare, this is kind of a strategic relationship that we have. And that's kind of how I started doing business with them. They also had a broker-dealer, Sunset Financial Services, which ended up getting spun off. But those are the 3 relationships that I started my agency with, and really did everything I could to kind of leverage the existing sort of resources and support that those organizations had to help me build the agency from the ground up. So as of June of 2008 to current, really spent, sorry, get something to drink here, really spent all my time recruiting and training and developing agents. That was really how we built the agency. So it was all about bringing new people into the business, empowering with what they need to be successful, really providing the structure and support and accountability for them to help grow their businesses. We always had a pretty successful agency. After the first few years of really scaling it, we got to the point where we averaged pretty close to about a dozen agents all the time. I mean, down to 6, sometimes up to 18 at different times. Usually a second line manager or 2, pretty typically a staff person or 2. And we got to the point where we had about 6,000 clients at one point, probably in about 2014, 2015, after 6-7 years of building the business. So had a pretty successful run. Throughout that process, I spent a fair amount of time in personal production, working with the existing agents that we had. Really, when they identified opportunities to, I don't know if you guys have ever been in the field and you found somebody and you're like, man, this person's definitely a perfect prospect. They definitely need all the things that we do, and they're definitely over my head. Like, I've got these people where, they know we can help them, but they know that they don't have the tools to do that. So they bring me in kind of as a producer, and so I built a fair amount, a little bit of a practice on the life insurance, fixed index annuity, and fee-based RIA side of things. Really, just kind of as a resource, providing support for the people that I work with. So that kind of all worked out all right. After about a dozen years of it, though, you guys, I was just totally burnt out. I spent a ton of time recruiting and training, developing people. I developed tons and tons of, like, literally dozens of $100,000 income earners within about 2 years of starting with my company. Made in excess of $100,000 personally in personal production. Probably, I don't know, of those 12 years, probably 7 or 8 of them. And then obviously built the successful agency on the back of that. But really ran out of steam, to be brutally honest with you. I took inventory after our 10th anniversary and started thinking, man, do I want to do what I've done the last 10 years for the next 10 years and really have every single job in this company, or do I want to try to figure out a way to do it better, do it a little bit smarter? So about a year of just kind of doing my thing, but really considering what other options there may be, I started really taking inventory on what we had. And at the time, we had developed number one, a great staff, like our W-2, like actual employee staff that manage a lot of the support and administrative and some of these other functions for us was awesome. Finding good staff is a blessing. Finding staff is not the same as finding good staff. And oftentimes you can find staff and develop into great staff, but it's tricky. When you're signing the front of the paycheck, it's not the easiest thing in the world to find great people and keep them around. So we had awesome staff. The other thing we had is a ton of clients. At the time, I think we had 4,000 clients. Well, I thought we had 4,000 clients. Turns out we had a lot less than that. We'll cover that here in a minute. But we had 4,000 clients in our CRM, our unaudited CRM. So we had that. And then the other thing is we built some technology. We built some great technology to really manage the operation of the company internally. We didn't have the right, I don't want to say right, we didn't have the opportunity, we didn't have the resources to really hire away issues when we encountered them. We really had to be as efficient as possible and really solve problems, create solutions for things like managing our leads, managing our database, commission accounting, new business functions, all these kind of things. And we built out a pretty awesome technology stack through that. So I looked at, man, how do I take this, this client base that we have, this great recurring revenue and a lot of clients that we had, how do I take our staff and what do I do with this technology to kind of get us to the next generation of the business? So what I came up with at the time was I'm going to turn my staff into really proactive customer managers for the 4,000 clients that we had. And by the way, to back up, as we're building the business, about a third of our revenue was med subs, MAPDs. About a third of our revenue was underwritten life, not final expense, like actual like underwritten life, IUL, stuff like that. And then a third of it was the FIA and fee-based investment business. So I transitioned our staff into really managing all those existing accounts and clients. And then I said I was going to take my time, personal time, And instead of continuing to generate new business in the industry, I was really going to focus on becoming a solution for other people like me who ran into the same type of issues from a technology infrastructure standpoint. So about a year and a half ago, we formed ProDash, which is, you know, the thing that you see. This is our platform. We're going to touch on that, spend some time having a conversation about that. As I was talking to people who had agencies and were producers in the industry who were prospects of ours on the ProDash side, I started realizing that, man, most people don't have the infrastructure that we've been fortunate to build here, and it's really tough when people get to 300 or 400 or 500 clients to really manage effectively their client base and continue to grow their business. So I found that a lot of people were having issues in terms of having enough of an infrastructure, having enough staff to really continue to grow their business after they reached that plateau point. So that was when our service model was born. We really took a look at the situation and the opportunities in the market and went, man, if they had the staff that we have, they could really continue to grow their business at a pretty nice clip. But a lot of people get stuck with 300, 400, 500 clients because the reactive service, you know, people's phone ringing, you know, all the time for stuff, and the retention activity that you have throughout the year, particularly during AEP, really slows you down. It really makes it very difficult to continue to get out and grow new business. And even though you've got an IMO that's terrific and very supportive, you know, in terms of you know, lead programs and marketing ideas and things like that, a lot of times if you're successful in this business, you've probably worked yourself into a situation where you probably don't have a ton of time. You know, so a lead, kind of a lead co-op deal or a new marketing idea or a new product, these kind of things, they might not be what you need to get to the next level. You know, you may need to kind of you know, take inventory on what you've got and identify the missing structures that you may have in terms of growing your business, figure out how to plug those holes, and then really focus on growing in terms of bringing on new clients, you know, looking at new products, new lines of business, that sort of thing. But what I'm finding is that a lot of people really just sort of need to reset that you know, kind of set that foundation, that point of resistance in terms of the amount of clients and business that they have, and then build upon that. So we built out the tech platform, we built out the service platform, and then the last thing that we do just a ton of work with people on is in the branding. You know, a lot of us, and I see a lot of people, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but a lot of us have set up, like, you know, johnsinsurance@gmail.com and Jeff Clark Financial @yahoo.com and stuff like that for our email and domain. So, you know, I notice a lot of people, they don't have a domain email, they don't have a website in place, they don't have a Google My Business profile. You can't find them, right? And so, you know, somebody like me in a business-to-business position is trying to find someone and they can't. There's no way in hell that a client's going to be able to find you, or a prospect's going to be able to find you. My job is to learn about your practice and find ways to identify opportunities to level you up. And I can't find anything on you, there's no chance anybody else is going to find anything on you. So, you know, we're finding that people are they don't have websites, they don't have domain emails, they don't really have any kind of positioning, they don't have any branding. And so we built this branding platform as well to really kind of add to that professionalism for people and really create a business rather than just a practice. And so that's been super successful as well. We've helped a ton of people be able to really reset or really create a brand and several other structures as well. So we'll talk about that. But it's been really fun, man. And we're really looking forward to the opportunity to kind of educate people on the work we do and sort of see what areas we work in that can fill in some gaps for them and help them get to another level. So props to GoldenCare really for having the vision to plug into this whole platform and really try to create this this messaging to help people identify some of the things they may need to become top producers and top agency builders. So without further ado, I'm going to grab a hold of a couple slides and we'll buzz through this. All right, so top producer. So what we're going to talk about, guys, is really how to apply some of these principles and some of these structures to your business to really empower you with what you need to get to the next level as a producer. So first thing we'll touch base on is that branding that we've discussed. Number one, as we talked about from a branding standpoint, really just some foundational things people really need to create that professional image. So the first thing that we do is help people with a brand. We have like a couple dozen brands that we built that can be applied to whatever the name of your company is. And from there, we were able to apply that to some really fundamental, really kind of stationary type things. So a lot of people are using just off-the-shelf stuff. To be able to have a brand on all of your really client-facing things adds a whole level of credibility to you, makes you super referable, opens up a lot of doors for you. We find a lot of people, once they start leveraging some of these point-of-sale materials and things like that, they're a lot more confident in engaging with things like these referral partners and things like that. They work with corporations to become their, retirement healthcare specialists. They're more confident going to, P&C firms and CPAs and other things like that to build these new relationships to try to generate referrals with them. When they've got a consistent and quality brand, it stands out a lot more than Josh's Insurance and Associates, at AOL.com or something like that. So after we pick a brand for you, with you, we create your stationery, which matches all your colors and everything like that. We set you up with all of these really, and none of these are original ideas, by the way, guys. These are all like things that we've all thought of in the past. We just built out a platform to kind of to execute on it for you and to get you to a position where you can say, you're right, I needed to do that. It's probably time to do that. We'll just we'll get it going. So thank you cards, birthday cards, anniversary cards with your brand, with your contact information, business cards matching everything. Really, again, just foundational stuff to resonate with your brand and your messaging. So this is part of the brand in the box kit. These are some of the logos that we built. Obviously, these are fake company names, but just kind of as a sample of like the couple dozen or so logos that we have. These are just a few of them. And so what we do when we engage in conversations about this is go, all right, let's take a look at the logos we have. And by the way, if you have a logo and you love it, great. If you have materials and you love them, great. Our job is really to identify areas that you may be missing or need to be improved in order to help your business get to another level. So it's not to shove a new logo on you or all this stuff at you. It's really just to find out kind of what you're doing and if you're missing any pieces to getting to the next level. So if you have a logo and you love it, then awesome. We'll apply it to all this stuff for you. So these are just a few of those things. These are some of the point of sale brochures that we put together for you that, again, can help educate people on the areas that you work in, maintaining your brand, maintaining your messaging, and really creating a super professional image. So we've got a lot of these photos and things like that built out. This is a life insurance basics brochure that'll have your logo on it and your contact information, all that. All of them are like trifolds, really, really awesome leave behind things. We also have them in PDF, so you can shoot them over to clients. It's kind of a follow-up, that sort of thing. We'll also build out for you what we call a My Firm brochure that says, here's who we are, here's what we do and what we believe in terms of the products and positioning that you have in the marketplace. And so really just a way to, again, create that level of professionalism and really create a business. If you're going around, guys, and you're bringing you're busting out your Mutual of Omaha long-term care brochure to talk about the work that you do, I think you're missing it a little bit. It's like if you position yourself as a business, as a resource for people to educate them on what they have, not only their products, but their needs and concerns, and provide solutions for them, you're positioned as a resource. And if you do that independently, people are going to look to you for more stuff. People are going to look to you for, if you're doing Medicare, they're going to look to you for long-term care and some of the home health care, short-term care, and even some of the life and annuity opportunities. If you're positioning yourself as, I'm going through my Humana, 2021 AMAPD, kit, rather than leading with, here's who we are, here's what we do, here's what we believe in. Let me educate you on the Medicare, plans and opportunities with a branded piece of point of sale materials. And then once you identify their needs and concerns, sharing with them what a solution would be, whether it's Humana or Mutual of Omaha or whatever it is, that's really a more efficient way of doing it, so that you keep those doors open for other opportunities to have a conversation with them, instead of people going, hey, aren't you the Humana man? Or I thought you're the long-term care lady. It's like, yes, those are areas that I work in, but let's kind of bring it back to the beginning and talk about who we are, what we do, what we believe in. Let me educate you on the different areas that we work in and see if there's anything I do that can provide some value for you. That's a way that you can, have a third of your revenue be, Medicare and retirement health insurance products, a third of it being life insurance, a third of it being investments, by really not selling a product, but by selling a fact finder and really your company. So that's some of that information. So this is an idea of what these what some of these point of sale materials look like. This is the Medicare summary of changes and benefits that we build. These are all updated annually. Anytime there's any changes in Medicare or taxes or anything like that, we update these and shoot out PDFs for everybody so that they can update their stock with those. We do typically, depending upon the pricing that you select, provide at least a couple hundred pieces of everything that we have in our package. If not, we do also offer a digital only package, which is a little bit less money to build these things out for you, and then you can print them, on your printer, or email them only, or print them wherever the hell you want. So this is kind of what some of these, the level of kind of detail and professionalism some of these brochures have. And we build out, I think we have Medicare, Medicare ancillary products, which is long-term care, home health care, short-term care, that type of stuff. We have life insurance basics, retirement income basics, property and casualty or personal lines basics, and we're building one for ACA as well right now. So really kind of a comprehensive portfolio of stuff. So within our branding package, okay, within our branding sort of segment, we've got the brand in a box, and then we have these tools powered by Snoozy, which we'll share with you. And then we have another set of tools here that we'll go over next, powered by Lift Local. So there's really kind of three sections of our branding. So the basic foundational brand and point of sale materials creation is kind of one of three. Two of three is getting you set up with a website. We've got a partnership with an awesome firm, Snoozy Inc. They're out of New Jersey. Our actual, not only our retirement protectors, which is our retail brand for our client-facing stuff, but also our ProDash website was built by Ken French and his team. Awesome people to work with, super responsive. We've got a little marketing deal with them to kind of help promote their business, and provides, again, some missing pieces that we had was helping our customers put together some web things. So we kind of practice what we preach, but they put together really, really awesome, simple, clean websites to get you an online presence. They've got some cool features on there that where people can enter in their prescription drug information, so you can save a bunch of money on mailers and stuff like that. Really, really cool stuff. The other thing they do is they do have a package for LinkedIn and Facebook where they can post on a weekly basis for you, really relevant stuff to whatever it is that your practice is, whether it's life, annuity, long-term care, ACA, Medicare, MAPD, whatever it is. So they've got all these different packages that are for social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. So again, being in a position where you need that stuff, but you don't need to be the person doing that stuff. So it's really about kind of leveraging other people's strengths to create efficiency and really maximize the value of your time. Certainly most of us who are producers are not super detail oriented or web developer coder people. So Snoozy does an awesome job for our customers, and so that's another sort of segment. The third segment is, and this is a relatively new thing for us that we're doing in our agency, as well as a lot of other people have been doing this for a while now, but our relationship with Lift Local, they're a firm out of Utah. They do a couple things really well. Number one, they will drive your Google My Business profile, maximize all of the different ways that you can use that. That's when people search for you. It's the local search results. So if you hop on Google and you search like MedSup near me, or Medicare insurance near me, or long-term care near me, or whatever that is, it's going to drop off for you a few ads that no one looks at, and then it's going to hit you with really the local search results for people who do that stuff locally. So their whole objective, you guys, is to create relevance and prominence online for you from a Google standpoint. So when I say relevance, if there's alignment between what your website says you do and what you actually do, Google's job is to give the right answer to people. So if you say Medicare insurance near me, and you've got reviews and your website and the work that you actually do is in alignment with that, Google's going to be confident referring people to you. If Google's wrong, it makes them look bad and you're not going to use them. Not that there's many alternatives. I don't think anyone's probably using Bing, but you're going to find some other way to search for stuff next time, and that's not good. That's not good for Google's ad revenue. So the relevance is super important, and then the prominence is another thing that's important. So they also do, in addition to the Google My Business optimization, they also have a program set up for proactively obtaining client reviews. Most of you guys have, several hundred clients within, let's say an hour, 2-3 hours geographically. which is a huge asset that you need to really be able to leverage. So with that, they can proactively obtain client reviews from your existing clients by saying, hey, we work with, Jeff Clark Financial. We appreciate your business. We just like to see if you were able to provide some thoughts on the work that his firm has been doing for you. And then they kind of take you through a sequence. And if you're 4 or 5 stars, they're going to request that you, like this shows right here, review to Google or Facebook or both. If you're 1 or 2 stars, it's going to redirect you to Jeff and his team's inbox so that they can provide whatever corrective things that they need to make sure that you're make sure you're happy, satisfied client. So this is a really valuable service, because when people are searching for you, they not only want the relevance of your website and your Google profile tying to your website, tying to the actual work that you do, but also, if you notice, whenever you search for something, you're sort of gravitated towards the things that have the most reviews and the best reviews. So, if you can imagine, somebody searching Medicare near me or MedSup near me or long-term care near me or whatever it is that your core market is, and you're popping up there in that Google search, in the local search results, very high, and you're also, you've got 40, 50, 60, 100 reviews, 4 or 5 star reviews. That makes it really easy for people to reach out to you. So this is a huge piece. Once you get your brand established and your web presence established, really maximizing that to create really incoming local traffic, which is like when people know who you are, what you do, and where you're at. Those leads that come in, those are like 100% close ratio. It's not like you're having to spend 1 or 2 appointments earning trust for people. So these are all kind of part of the branding sort of structure that we have. They're all kind of 3 different products, if you will, or services. We do have what we can do on this side of things is provide a report for you that shows you. It's called the gosh darn it, market totally escaped me. So I think it's Monday morning. It's dreary, rainy Monday morning here in Iowa. So I've totally forgot the name of it, but I do have a report that we have access to for you, and it'll show you where you're at in terms of your Google rankings. It'll provide you a score that says how relevant and prominent you are on the web. So it's a cool free report that we do for you, just to kind of find out what your foundation is and give an opportunity for you to build upon that. So Jeff, if you could hop back on with me real quick here, buddy.
Yeah.
We're done talking about branding, and I want to sort of just chat with you a little bit about your thoughts from a branding standpoint on how people can use branding to establish themselves as a top producer and grow their business, from what you've seen.
Well, yeah. See, it's just some things you talked about too, and I'm stealing some of your stats from you here. But first of all, to get to that next level, you really have to have a website. You need to have a presence. You need to have, if you do have a website, you got to drive people to that website. It's just really hard to make it that next level without some type of a branding and image and all those pieces that you put out there. As I'm looking at them, I'm just thinking to myself, when I was in the field, some time back, I didn't have any of that stuff. And I do manage, I don't know, we have probably in my region, there's probably 3,000 or 4,000 agents. Every one of those guys that are successful, agents, guys, gals, it's because they have some branding, they have imaging, they have a website, even if it's just, something they do themselves. They've got some of the services that you're talking about that just make them look like they're bigger, even if they're not. So branding, website traffic, referral business. I think I read somewhere that, good agencies, about 80% of their business comes from branding, imaging, and word of mouth, website stuff. So it's crucially important. Again, and all these things we're talking about today, folks, if you're interested in just writing 5 apps a year and you're just never going to be serious about this, these are not the right tools for you. But if you're sincere about making this work, you want to make a life, a business, you want to build an agency, you want to be successful in insurance, then these things are paramount for you to grow. So that helps you, Josh. It's kind of what you're looking at.
Yeah. Well, just from the perspective of, you work with thousands of downline agents. I work with, the customers and people that I brought into the business and other firms like the people who are on the call. So, I think you got a whole other perspective. And so I appreciate you sharing that. But, you're absolutely right. It's, you got to have just kind of a foundational level of branding and imaging and messaging, and then it can be built upon and built upon and built upon. There's just a certain sequence of things, you guys, that you don't need to worry about driving traffic through search engine optimization if you don't have a website, you don't have a brand. There's all this shit out here. Pardon my French, I speak a little French. There's all this shit out here about, hey, get these leads for this, get these leads for that, or, drive a bunch of traffic to this, or there's like a million different you get your automations in place so that you can systematically email and text and call 1,000 times within 12 touches within 2 weeks and all this crap. Listen, I mean, if you don't have all these things, these basic foundations in place, you don't need to worry about that other stuff. Like, you can't be worrying about these other things that are like 10 steps beyond. It's like a complete waste of money, because people try to find you, they can't even find you. So it's pointless. It's like, go out and see some more people and grow from there. So that's some of that stuff. So we think, and let me back up again, none of this is original thoughts, right? I mean, I have these same issues. The reason why I'm so passionate about the work that we do, you guys, is that these are all issues that I had, these are all issues that we solved, and these are issues that we believe we can provide some value for the marketplace with, because a lot of people, they know it's there, they acknowledge it, and then they just kind of brush it under the rug and go, oh, I'm gonna have to get to that when I have time, and you never have time for it. So we provide some solutions to just go, man, that is exactly what I need. Let's move forward with that. So perfect. All right, let's talk about our tech platform. So ProDash, and let me preface this. If you have a CRM and you love it, I love it. If you don't have a CRM, you need one. If you have one and this can improve upon it, then let's have a conversation about it. But if you have one and you love it, this is not the part of the conversation for you. So ProDash is something that we built.
Josh, can I hop in? I just want to see where you asked me about also, what do I see in successful, just to kind of set it up for you a little bit more. A couple more traits that you see in successful agencies out there. All the people that I have underneath me and all the things I've seen over the years, not only they have that good imaging and that kind of stuff, they usually sell more than 4 or 5 products. They're cross-selling. They've got, I have guys that have gals, I have agents out there that have humongous, enormous Medicare blocks, for example, but they don't offer long-term care. They come to me to say, I need to do more long-term care with them. I'm really weak in that area. Or they have a lot of long-term care, they don't do med subs, or they have life and they're trying to get into long-term care. So cross-selling, having more products available is the other big thing. And then also just having the staff, the time to do it all, what we're talking about. How do you do the branding? How do you do all the cross-selling, other products, uncover other opportunities, and have the product knowledge and all the stuff to do when you're by yourself? And so that's the other thing. The staff you provide, the products and cross-selling, and then also the branding. I think all three, I just wanted to comment. Those are kind of the keys to successful agents. So go ahead.
That's great, Jeff. I'm gonna have to you're gonna have to increase your invoice to me, man. You're a really good spokesman. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, those are key items for the people who make it. So
the people who make it, I mean, that's the key right there. It's like, look, I mean, if you want to treat this like a hobby, you're gonna get paid like a hobby. If you want to treat this like a business, you're gonna have to act like it. And that's not just selling people stuff. That's not just being a transactional salesperson. That's not just creating practice by having a whole bunch of people that you sold stuff to. It's about creating value for people, building long-term relationships with people. And that is a multi sort of faceted thing that you need to really pay attention to. And so these are really some key elements to really being able to become that top producer that a lot of us strive to be. And so anyway, with our tech platform, ProDash, we built this. We spent, I think we're north of 2 commas now on this thing over the last couple of years, and really trying to build the preeminent platform for people. This really works alongside a lot of different pieces of technology. So this doesn't do quoting and enrollment. It does quoting, it doesn't do enrolling. So I know a lot of people have a Medicare Center and some other solutions like Connector for that type of stuff. So it doesn't do those things, but we can integrate with those things. It is not does not make leads for you. It's not an automation lead generation thing, but we do also connect with firms and platforms that do that as well. So we're not trying to be everything to everybody with this. We're just trying to have a basic, solid CRM that can allow you to get good insights and analytics into your business so that you understand what to do and where to do it. So some of these other things really we can integrate with this. Depending upon what we already have, we can integrate with ProDash to really kind of have this sort of be your home platform. But we have on the dashboard side here, we've got a bunch of news and things like that, additions that we have to the platform, and you can right from the front here, you can get a quote, an instant quote. The thing about this thing that's really unique is that we can get feeds from your lead vendors or automation technology into here. We can get information on your existing clients in here, whether you have that in filing cabinets right now, or you have that in spreadsheets right now, or you have that in other platforms right now. We get that information in here. We get information in here from the carriers, so you don't have to go to Mutual of Omaha, and Humana, and Aetna, and all these other carriers' websites. Once we get it into the system, you can really manage your books of business in here. And the other thing is we have the quoting. So we have a feed from CSG Actuarial, who is a new integrity marketing group company. Any kind of data feeds any kind of data that you can quote through their system, we have actually baked into ProDash. So I know GoldenCare offers a white label solution of CSG where you can go out and enter, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, zip code, age, smoker, non-smoker, whatever. But if you've got your lead information, your client information, your policy information, your quoting information, all baked in the same system, there's tons of synergy and tons of efficiency where you don't have to actually go to this system for this system for this system for this system for this. So it really kind of puts all that stuff in one place, which is really kind of cool. So this is just the people section. So you can search by anything, any data point that's in here, you can search by. So active clients, opportunities pending, carrier, product type, product, include, exclude, whatever. So it's a good way, again, you guys, if you've got multiple product lines, which I hope you do, multiple carriers, which I hope you do, and multiple products, which I hope you do, getting all that stuff in one spot really creates a vantage point for you to be able to manage your business like a business and not just have a bunch of files with a bunch of crap everywhere. So this is one of the views of on the product level. So you can see where it's at in the process in terms of issued, pending, whatever, carrier, plan name, plan form, all this kind of stuff. So issued premium, current premium is another thing we have fields for. What your commission levels are, who the producer is, all this stuff is date and time stamped. You can look at a history of your comp and stuff in here. Pretty cool stuff. Again, being able to manage product level, account level, policy level information in one spot instead of having to go to 50 different websites is really, really powerful. This shows a client profile. So with this, you've got the ability to take a look at not only the person, but all the accounts they have, regardless of what product type or what carrier they've got. It also shows a history of all the stuff you had. We can attach files, got drop and drag functionality. So it's really sweet. You can put an apps in here. You can put your scopes of appointments in here. You can put, copy driver's license, whatever, if you're in the securities business. So it really just, again, puts everything on one level. We have a task boards built out in here. We've got 5 right now. Task sort of sequences pre-built into the system. We can create new ones with you or for you, but right now we've got a renewal, new lead, final expense, AEP, and cancel old policy tasks. And so what these tasks have is different activities in them, and so these different activities you can sort by. So you can look at all the people that you are setting appointments with to talk to about their stuff. You're looking at all the people who you're doing assessments on. So we can customize this for you or your organization and build new tasks or workflows for you. But we've got those 5 that are baked in, and they do a pretty good job. Activity report. This is another great way, not only for you as an individual, but if you're an agency owner managing people, God bless you. And also if you're an upline IMO, to be able to help people really create that accountability and drive activity to lead towards results and help people succeed and get to another level. This activity report is really key. So you can see based on a date range, based on a task flow, and based on who you want to look at in all the people in your organization, you can see where people are at in these different task flows. So I can look at Jeff's notification of clients, setting appointments, perform and present assessments, submitting apps and getting apps approved. I can look at him, not exactly him, but I can look at the Jeff Clarks of the world in terms of yourself or a downline agent, or even as an IMO, you can kind of look at some of this activity as well to help people focus on the areas they need to be focused on to grow their business. 2 things here which are pretty amazing. We've got these analytics. By having all your client information and account policy information in one spot, you can really take a look at your business and look at some basic analytics. So this is really huge. Jeff, you'd alluded to the top producers having 4 to 6 types of business on the books. So that's something we cover in our market positioning guide, which we'll be able to provide for you guys as a follow-up to this call that we put together with GoldenCare, just to talk about some of these basic structures. But this allows you to kind of identify what people have, what they don't have, and create some upselling and cross-selling opportunities for them. So the first thing is the client demographic. So this is something that talks about the longevity you have in your policies. From a MedSup standpoint, after 6 years with most of these carriers, most of these current products, the comp goes down to either 83% less than what it started at, or down to 0. So you definitely want to have a good grasp on your book of business in terms of what policies you have that are aging, and opportunities to sort of rewrite them into new books of business that not only can save them money, but generate you additional revenue. You can look at your breakdown of gender between males and females, as well as age ranges. So, Jeff, like for example, when long-term care several years ago became a thing that was no longer unisex pricing, the ability to pull a report like this to say, show me everybody 50 to 64 who's a female, would have been pretty valuable.
Yeah, if we would have had that at that point, yes, right before the rate, and actually you could even break it down by state, because as they rolled that out, it was like a 4 or 5 different series rollout. So now we have these 13 states coming back on board. Now we have these 11. So yes, to have that ready to go, we scrambled just to get to our agents in time to communicate that. But I imagine agents struggled to get that information to all their clients. I know I did. I had a lot of clients that would have loved to be able to offer to it. People that called me later and said, hey, I want long-term care. And I thought, boy, had I known that she was even interested in it 6 weeks ago, she probably would have bought from me. So yeah, there's tons of opportunities.
Now, and that's an opportunity, right? There's constant opportunities. Carriers come out, and you can tell some carriers don't want anybody 65 to 68, but some of them love people over 80. There's a couple carriers out there, I know one in particular that anybody over 80, they will underwrite just like everybody else. They'll pay just like everybody else that's under 80. That's one that, I'd be minding my book of business and trying to identify people over age 80 and try to get those people rewritten into that book of business, So anyway, what you can do when you've got all your information in one spot is really powerful. So we get these little reports, and then you can, copy and paste them into spreadsheets and do mailers or whatever you want off of them. So this is an account analytic, and both of these analytics can be for you or your downline or both. So this shows like your producers, the different carriers you're doing business with, and product types. So you can look at, Jeff, let's say for example, Mutual comes out with a really awesome, I know they already have, but a dental product. So you can look at everybody who you've got who's, Jeff Clark, Mutual of Omaha, MedSup, and then you can really build a report off of that and use that to generate upselling for the dental product. Or if there's another carrier that comes out that gives, let's say, a MedSup discount if you have one of their products, you can look at, the carrier and that particular product and then use that as a MedSup campaign. There's like infinite things you can do from an upselling and cross-selling standpoint when you've got all this information in a usable format where you can actually take a look at it, not just by piling up all of your files or you're sorting your spreadsheet, but really looking at this and going, all right, how am I going to create all these marketing campaigns and target specific people and really use that to generate opportunities for upselling and cross-selling and retention. That's how people really create huge businesses, by working their butts off to get a whole bunch of new clients, but then retaining the ones they have, upselling the ones they have, and cross-selling the ones they have. That's how you continue to expand and grow without having to do the same work over and over again. So those are a couple of our analytics that we think are really cool. So Jeff, I'm going to jump right into the service. We had a good conversation about tech. So branding is a huge element. Tech is a huge element. Services, I think, I was about to say hugest. I think I'm going to say most huge, the most huge benefit of all. So as an independent person who, when you're kind of working solo, you're a solopreneur, it's really tough to scale. You can go out and work your butt off to kind of duplicate the success that you had at the beginning of your career or the last organization you were at if you're a captive. But you get to that 300, 400, 500 client spot, it's going to be a challenge for you to continue to grow at that pace. Between the reactive service, the retention situation, and keeping the people that you've got, it's a situation. It's a real challenge. So we built this service model to kind of have people be able to piggyback on our service team and actually allow us to service your clients as if they were ours, and do some unbelievable things and really allow you to continue to put your foot on the gas as far as building your business or building your agency or whatever. So as a top producer, you got to have staff. And let me tell you, having staff is, I got to close my door. Having staff is expensive. It's got risk. It's got liability. Signing the front of the paycheck is not any fun. You have to pay it every couple of weeks, whether you like it or not. So we have staff. We manage them. The other thing is from the standpoint of recruiting and training and developing staff, it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart or for the light of wallet. Let me tell you. So being able to have an organization that you can't outgrow from a servicing standpoint is huge. Even as a top producer, if you want to get to the point where you've got staff, all of a sudden you spend most of your time recruiting and training and developing and retaining your staff rather than producing. So eventually it's a value proposition. It'll pay off. But in the short term, really being able to capitalize on something that's already built and infrastructure already in place is really the best option for you. So what we do is actually use your face and your logo and our staff. Like these are some of our actual people that are here in my office working on our retail agency and our acquisitions and providing high-level service for the clients and the customers that we have. So we give people a dedicated either local or 1-800 number to reach us, as well as a dedicated email. So the objective here, you guys, is to take all of the reactive services coming at you, and you can duck out of the way, and it goes straight into my team. So I got to change this card, I've got this claim, I need this reimbursement, I got to change this ad, anything your phone rings for, we want the phone to ring here. And we actually answer the phone. In this case, thanks for calling Klein Senior Insurance. This is, Josh, how can I help you? So we become your back office. So the message to your client says, hey, we're growing this business, and we've added a whole new service team, and we're gonna be able to take even better care of you than we have in the past. And because of that, we've got some additional capabilities. So we charge people to service their clients. Currently we have a GoldenCare discount, but our retail cost is $30 per year per client, which should be less than 10% of your recurring revenue. And what we do by that is take all of the reactive service, and then I'll show you some other things as well, taking the retention and upselling, cross-selling off your plate as well. So we build out a marketing calendar for each and every one of you who work with us on service. If you have an MAPD, we reach out to people during AEP, focus on those retention activities for you. So Jeff, and I don't know, you've been through a bunch of AEPs, man. I mean, during AEP, it's a total madhouse, but what percentage of people do you think in your internal agency or call center agency and all the people you work with you see tons of MAPDs every year. What percentage of them you think are new clients versus rewrites of existing clients?
Well, first of all, it's a tough number to get your hands on. When I talk to most of the people that I do a lot of it, they honestly don't know, Josh. They know they spend a lot of their time saving people, rewriting people that are shopping during AEP. Maybe they call you because they got a new prescription and they're curious, can you run your drugs for them to see if that, and how many of us want to spend most of our AEP reacting and trying to save clients? You don't have any time to add new ones. It seems like there's only so many hours in a day that you're either going to spend your time saving the ones, and this again, that number you use, Josh, is pretty close. Somewhere around 400, 500 clients, it becomes, do you want to add new ones or do you want to save the ones you got? Because you can't do both. So, and that's where you end up with. That's why I'm hoping the folks that are still on this thing understand it. That's another thing that's part of the service going to offer you is to free you up to continue to add new ones. Let's keep the ones we got on the books, and let's just let you be good at what you're doing. You go out and sell and get new ones. Let Josh's team keep the ones you got. They're very good. I think, Josh, what did you say? You had 4,000, 5,000 you're taking care of at one point? Right?
Yeah, we're between our retail business, our acquisitions, and the clients, the customers that are paying us to do it. Right now, we have about 7,500 clients, and we have 11,000 coming through the door in the next 3 weeks. So this is a growing situation. But it should not be you work your whole butt off to build your practice. It should not be, do I focus on continuing to build my business or keeping the people that I have? It should be an and thing, not an or thing. And so we really provide the structure for you to continue to grow and make it an and situation, which is the best for everybody. So on MAPDs, we help people get retention during AEP. We also ping them with opportunities to round out the portfolio in terms of upselling with hospital indemnity, some of these other long-term care, short-term care stuff, as well as cross-selling life and annuities. So we charge fees to manage the client book for you and become your back office. And then we do comp splits, which essentially are a split of street level revenue for life annuity and long-term care and those sort of things as we dig up those opportunities with your existing clients. On MedSups, we're retaining them during AEP. We're also reaching out to them and letting them know what their rate actions are going to be in advance. We work directly with the insurance divisions to find out what the rate actions are going to be for your accounts in the state that you work in advance. So they have to approve and have, they have to apply and have approved these rate actions months before they let us know what the rates are going to change to, or they let the clients know what their rates are going to change to. So being a service customer of ours, we actually do that for you and enter the information into the system and let your clients know what they have, what their rate's going to, and what their option is to retain those MedSup accounts. And then if you have people who have what we call no core health, so whether it's a final expense, book of business, life insurance, annuity, long-term care for that matter, anything you have that doesn't have a core health product, a MedSup or MAPD, we're going to reach out to them and try to get them one. So those are ones you actually don't have to pay because they don't have core health on the books now. But we do drive a lot of traffic in terms of bringing people in or bringing people back into your book of business into core health if they have those other product lines. So if you're thinking, man, I got a ton of long-term care clients, I don't think this is for me. that's exactly the kind of business that we can market to. So it'd be a lot less expensive for you because you don't have a bunch of core health clients, but we can generate a lot of new revenue for you in terms of our comp splits on med subs and driving a lot of new business back in your book of business.
Hey, Josh, can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
so
man,
I know we're getting close to this hour here, but this part here, and it just, the first time that Josh went through some of this to me, I want to make sure that there's no agents sitting here. Understand that everything he's saying here, these are all a la carte things. It's not all one big all-encompassing package. There are bits and pieces that I know almost all of my agents can use a certain portion of this. Maybe all of it, maybe just the branding, maybe you're just one of those people that do realize you're losing them just as fast as you're putting them on. Wouldn't it be nice to have one of your clients receive a letter ahead of time when they're going to get a rate increase on their med sup? 2 months ahead of time, they get a letter saying, your premium's going to 175. How would you like to pay 140 or 130 with these two good carriers? And someone makes that sale for you. You never even hear about it, and it's already rewritten in your name, and you're off and running and making commission on that without losing them. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to free you up. So anyways, I know the hour's almost over, but I can't say enough about it. Remember that all these things are a la carte. You can kind of pick and choose what you need to help you.
Thanks, buddy. So yeah, again, just kind of some of the fundamentals of being a top producer. You got to have brand, and you got to be able to build upon that brand. You got to have all your stuff in one spot in terms of not only your leads, but your existing clients, accounts, and quoting. And you definitely need to have staff. If you want to get big, you got 300, 400, 500 clients, you're going to be chasing your tail around for 10 years doing the same thing unless you start building out staff, which is a pretty big undertaking. So being able to leverage the infrastructure and scale that we have for pennies on the dollar is really a great opportunity for you to get big, go fast, and really have an organization that you can't outgrow. So I want you guys to get in touch with whoever you're working with as a marketer at GoldenCare, or reply to any of the webinar reminders. You should get a link to connect with us on our Calendly link on our calendar. But we are going to send everybody who's on the call this market position guide for GoldenCare. This talks about the different areas that we work in. Just kind of a little leave behind piece. It's also got the contact information for my B2B sales specialist and some more for GoldenCare. So we'll email that out to you. But I just encourage you to get in contact with us and let's have a conversation. If there's something we do that can help you, great, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll let you know. We're not in the business of shoving products or services or consulting down people's throats, but to be able to identify where you're at, find out your needs and concerns and goals, and see if you got some missing structures that we can provide that can help you get from where you're at to where you want to be. That's what we're all about. So we've been there, and we are there now, and we love the opportunity to help you. So guys, thank you again, GoldenCare, everybody being on. Appreciate you having the opportunity, and we'll give that market position guide out to everybody, and we'll look forward to hopping on another call in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Josh.
Check out our website, goldencareagent.com, or give us a call at 800-842-7799.